shall we begin?
Sounded really honest. Sure.
Let's all introduce ourselves. We go around and say what we
Wait,
did
is
this
everyone
week.
here?
No, but
What time?
It's 7:02.
Oh,
It starts at 7:15. I broke my
Wait, yeah, okay.
No, it's 7.
Can we talk about
It starts at 7. It's 7.
Even though Sarah's not here? It's just somewhere?
Yeah, time cards. I was so
Or do they confuse you briefly?
Sarah said she was in the
Yeah, I don't think I did.
Why are the two columns?
Yeah,
I assume one was for office hours.
I guess.
Yeah, it's not anything else you did that day. It's like you did 2 or 3 things for Senate in one day.
Right. I assumed it was, yeah.
Were you guys able to share your time?
That's what I want to talk about.
Yes, I would click share.
You have to share it with
Alright.
Senate too, so I can see them.
Oh, not just Sarah?
I think they're already shared us.
They're not.
Yes.
They're not.
Oh,
They're shared off
okay.
because I don't have access to it.
We should share those soon because they're
Let's begin with check-ins. Okay. I'm Nick Olson. I'm facilitating today. We're saying name, pronouns, what else?
What we did this week?
What we did this week. Anything else? I don't think so. Anyways, I'm Nick. I use he, him, and his. I went to a meeting with Res Ed and BNT working groups this week. I met with someone from the Oberlin Review to discuss kind of what's going on with the funding issues. And that was over office hours. Let me think, what else did I do? Sent some emails. I'm gonna construct another email to send out about the referendum again. Because we should send something to people. Because when we do that, typically we get something like 200 responses that day.
close.
Yeah, and we're like 300 away, so. Anyways.
Yeah. I'm walking to see him and his. I had my office hour, I sent a lot of emails. We had our South Campus working group meeting on Saturday. Attended the trustee forum. There were a few follow-up conversations from that I've been working with, so that's been my week.
Hi, I'm Ty, he and his. This week I had office hours. I had conversations about the Board of Trustees and the steering committee. I contacted the review about a possible article for us to be written about us or by us, details to TBA. And I had office hours and
Hi, I'm Jordan, he, him, his. So this week I held office hours, I went to the Board of Trustees open forum and talked to a few people about like the steering committee and stuff. Yeah, that's just about it.
Nick, he, him, his. I had office hours in the MRC this week, which hopefully would be an every week sort of thing. I went to the student health working group, and we had our South Campus working group meeting, and very few people came, but hopefully all of those few people that came will go and tell a bunch of other people, and more people will come next week. And other than that, I kept receiving information about committees and updating the PowerPoint. The PowerPoint looks really, really pretty. Go check it out if you haven't seen it yet. It's shared with the Senate account, but if you guys feel like you want to see it, then I can share it with all of you individually. And you can just let me know that. Yeah, and I finished all my midterms. Lucky.
Go back to Megan.
Yeah, Megan, here we go.
There's a lot going on, or is it just a general check-in and names and stuff?
Check-in.
Hi, my name is Megan, she, her, hers. I am a senator.
And then what'd you do this week?
This week, there was a really cool LHM event, the Dia de la Raza banquet, and it was my last banquet, so it was really meaningful to be there. Carlos Andres Gomez opened, and that was incredible. And then otherwise, I'm just trying to be a student, because I forgot that that's what I do. So, check.
Corey, he, him, his, second year. Held my office hours. Bigger sign did not seem to help, so I don't know what I'm going to do with that.
Bigger sign.
Bigger signs. Yeah, all of Azariah's. student engagement working group didn't meet, so didn't do that. Worked with the committee's email and still trying to get stuff done with that.
I'm Olivia. I use she, her, and hers. I'm here from Fearless and Living to record this session. And this week I started ramping up for midterms.
Hey everybody, I'm Nolan. I use he, him, his. Let's see what we got going on this week. Well, met with Nick and Mahmoud at the South Campus working group, which was great. We had a great brainstorming session on what we wanted to focus on. If anyone's interested, please talk to us further. We'd love any help or input. Held office hours, went to the trustee forum, and heard a lot of great things said there. And that said, just one more thing that I've tried setting up a when is good for doing some postering for the referendum, because Justin, you got together some great posters and some great slips, but I also realized that it was midterms weekend and so nobody had time for anything, and that's okay. So I'm thinking of maybe after midterms and fall break, if we still have to do one final push for the referendum, I will do another when is good to get as many of us out as possible to go postering for about half an hour to an hour just to get the word out for one last time. That's about it.
Is there any update on how far we've come with the referendum?
1,200.
How many do we need?
59.
So we're almost there.
We're getting there.
We're almost there. So one more push.
Oh my gosh, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
I'm Justin. I use he, him, his. And then this week I print out all those flyers. I stuck flyers under all the DASCOM doors and put some up in outside in the library. I sent Albert info about my referendum, or about the task force. I sent Sarah responsibilities for events coordinator. And then I worked some more stuff out with the referendum. Yeah, that was pretty much my week.
I'm Zach, he, him, his. This week I held office hours, no one came. I attended the student health working group. I thought that was really interesting and pretty productive. And also, I spoke at every co-op except for Old B, which never responded to me. So I sent them another email and I was like, hey, and then I just sent that, and I had to cancel and didn't go. So no, it's okay. They're the last co-op. I've spoken to every other co-op. I have a nice little flyer with my face and contact information up in every co-op except for Old B. So.
Wait, are you including Third World and Kosher Halal in that?
No, I'm not. I'm not including Halal because they are not part of OSCA, so I don't believe they are actually part of my job description. But we can have a conversation about that if you want to. I did go to Third World though; they were really awesome. But yeah, that's my week.
I'm Ben, he, him, his. Let's see. This week I held office hours. It went well. I talked to some people, same people I talked to last week. So, yeah. And then let's see. I went to the trustee forum. And yeah. Also, Zach, you can just come.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That's cool. Yeah,
that's totally fine.
Hi, I'm Anjali. I prefer she, her, and hers. I had my office hours. No one really came. A couple of people talked to me though. I went to the city hall meeting. I had a coffee with Councilwoman Sharon Stassi on Saturday. She's cool. She's really cool. I went to the financial accessibility working group. It's a party. So.
I'm Albert. I prefer he, him, and his. This week I met with the resident working group. I also had my office hours. I'll discuss that under part 5, but what I can say is that it lasted, I had a conversation which extended 45 minutes beyond the end of my office hour. I also did work on the Senate website, and thank you to everyone who sent me information so far. If I could just add a brief plug, if you have any permanent information that you want posted in the section on the website, please send it to me and I'll be happy to put that up for you.
Excellent. Shall we approve the agenda? Does this look good? Does anyone else have anything they want to add?
Oh, sorry. Okay, just a quick thing, I guess, under discussions. I'm not sure, Aaron Apple told me that we technically are supposed to have a green liaison, and I'm not sure if we have one so far. You mentioned it was part of the bylaws. I haven't actually checked yet, but I just wanted to point that out there. I'm not sure. I don't think we already have a green liaison, but and I hadn't been able to check if Aaron was correct about it being part of our bylaws, but I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention.
Pretty sure it's a wild card position in the bylaws, and we don't have to have it.
Okay, perfect.
That's my. I haven't looked at it. It looks like Albert is right now, so I'm sure Albert can get back with me.
Okay, thanks. Yeah.
Zach, did you have something to add about time cards?
Yeah, should I talk about it now?
Just or when we have discussion.
It's already under discussion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, time. Okay. City Hall.
And would the guests like to introduce themselves as well?
Yeah, I'm David Clark. I graduated in 2012 and I'm just here because I like coming back to meet with trustees, and I found it Peerless and Loathing. And just as like a direct response, green liaison is a position, it's not a wild card.
Cool.
Well,
there we go.
We are recording, right?
I have the answer to the bylaws.
Oh, yeah.
According to the handbook, green liaison is listed as a wild card position. According to the bylaws, which have been amended over time, it is listed as a position in Article 4, Section C, subsection M. However, according to Part 1 of subsection C, amendments to the office of position may be made at any time, which
we did.
which means abolishing a position.
So have we already de facto done that, or do we have to officially like do that thing that everyone's doing?
Yeah.
I think that it's done.
Okay.
Because we have established that we are not filling that position.
That's cool.
And the
We have to change it.
That's it.
well, the task force. This could be handed for the task force also to change that, eliminate it. So we have a conflict between our handbook and our bylaws, which is not shocking.
Make a proposal that we put the green liaison under discussions, because I think that people might have opinions about whether we want to abolish it or not. Thanks.
Oh, it's already there.
Oh, is it?
I just
Oh, sorry.
because I figured that maybe a good thing to discuss.
Oh, perfect. Thanks.
Just move that.
I'm Sydney Manning, and I'm over in the chemistry department. And tonight I'm here to represent the Lorraine County Metro Parks.
Eric.
Hi, Eric, your dean of students. Here as always.
And
Olivia.
Okay, cool.
I'm here from Fearless and Living.
Are you a third?
Hmm?
Are you a third?
Second year.
Cool. Okay, so outside business.
Hi. Well, first of all, outside of everything else I do, I'm on a board of directors and I help homeless families. And I tell you, I wish I had every single one of you on my board, because you guys are amazing already. The way you go around the room and say all the things that you've done in just 1 week. I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed. Out in the outside world, you guys are going to be amazing people to have on boards and to really get out there and do something. And so I just have to right away say, awesome, thank you for what you're doing, because you guys are great. Really, I don't see this in the adult world part when I asked the board what they did in the week. So here is some information about the Metro Parks. I don't have enough for everyone, but there's these handouts, there's these fact sheets, there's these arrowheads. This tells you about the Lorraine County Metro Parks. Has anyone visited one or any in the county? Splash Zone is one of them right here in Oberlin. Mill Hollow is another one, which is really nice. There's some in Carlisle Township, which is only about 15 minutes from here. That's a big one. They have hay rides going on right now too for $1. while it's the fall. But the Metro Parks has over 100 acres of property in Lorraine County that they're maintaining. And they do so much for the community, for the children, for education, for the environment, for our animals. It's just incredible, all the things that they do. They touch bases with theater, they do art, they do music, you name it, and the Metro Parks is really involved in it if it has something to do with community and helping children as they grow. These arrowheads come out every so often to tell you about what's coming up in the area. And what's going on right now is November 4th, on Election Day, they're asking for not only a renewal, but a slight increase. And the renewal has not been every 10 years, okay? They've been in existence since the 50s, but they manage their money very well. And when you read these fact sheets and you look at all of the things that they're doing, that they haven't asked for money in 10 years is so impressive. When you look to see that they only have, I think it was like 60. They're running all of this like on volunteer basis because 61 full part-time people and 10 part-time employees. That's 100,000 acres, and that's all these things they're doing. So, they really use their money wisely. What they're asking for is a slight increase. That would it be 88 cents a month per, if somebody, it's taxed on people's houses, okay? So that's where there's this touchy-feely part about students and in the community and actually homeowners where this is going to be attached to. But the way I see it as far as students go, if you love the environment, if you love the animals, if you love education, and having children all the way up into people into their 70s have beautiful, wonderful things to do in the area, then you want to promote this and you want to be a part of this and hope that this goes through, because they took over Cascade Park, which was a park that was in dire need. It's a beautiful, beautiful area, but they have come in to take that over. They also took over Lakeview Park, which Lakeview Park was really getting into a bad scene with drugs and, just the bad part community people coming in. They cleaned that place up. They put in a beautiful cafe. The Rose Garden is back. The big Easter bunny, there's big the huge Easter basket with these huge eggs, and all kids since I was a little girl, you could go there and get your picture taken. So they really, keep with tradition, keep with the community. And like I said, the increase is only 88 cents. That's not even a cup of coffee, in a month time for somebody and it's less if you own $100,000, which is nice because, it doesn't hurt any one particular group. It's based on your income. So what I was asking is that if there were some students here that would be interested in promoting this on campus, all we have to do at this point is to pass out these flyers to both faculty, staff, students, so that they're aware that this is on the ballot, that they can look it up. We're on Facebook. They have their own website. They are sending out emails of what's going on that week. There's all different kinds of ways that they can find out and learn about the Metro Parks so that they make a good decision to vote, whichever way they're going. But we want them to make a decision. We want them to know it's on the ballot. We want people to know so they can look it up before November 4th and be prepared when they go in. So if anybody would be interested in helping me do that, I have this stuff in my office with everything else I do. And I'm C. Manning. It's real easy, MANNING. So it's Cindy C. Manning at Oberlin.edu. So if you're interested, just get a hold of me in the next few days and we'll set something up.
I'll table for it in the library if you're interested in that, because I'm a big Parks fan. So.
Right, you see, great, and I love the beard. That's cool.
Could you say your email again really fast?
C. Manning? Manning.
Yes, okay.
Okay, so yeah, I can, like I said, I'm right in the chemistry department, if anyone's familiar with the sciences. I'm up in the corner, And I have a whole box full of this stuff, and you could take it and just kind of talk to people. If there's any staff or anybody that wants a sign, that just get their address and their phone number or their address and their name, and we'll make sure a sign gets out to them. We've put out most of our signs, but people are still, oh yeah, I want a sign in my yard. That's fine. That's not a problem. But we just want to promote them to know that this is on the levy and to please look us up. And that's it. Thank you. Okay? So thank you for your time, and I know you guys have a lot to discuss tonight. You're really busy people. And thanks again for what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you for what you're doing.
Thanks.
I think this would be a nice thing to put out something on social media.
This actually coincides really well with something that we witnessed during the city the city hall meeting that we attended, which we'll get to eventually, but for your sake, we will be in touch with you.
Yeah, we're the city liaison, so feel free.
Outreach people.
All right.
Oh, do you want to read?
We'll reach out to you.
You'll reach out.
I have your email. We will CC.
And you know where I work.
I do know.
All right.
I do know we're at school. It'll be good.
All right. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Have a nice night. Bye.
Take care, Cindy.
Bye.
Yes.
So one of the bigger promotional tools that we have is to pass a resolution. So if there's interested, I could author something and then we could talk about it, or we can talk about what you just said right now. Because if it's not worth it, I just won't write it. Are there any thoughts?
Well, what exactly would a resolution do?
What would it entail?
Basically, we say that we passed this, and so it indicates our support.
I see. So it's just an official
Like we support the stamp of approval.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
I
And
think that's good.
yeah, and what would that require? It would just require you to author it and us to approve it?
Yeah.
Cool.
So I would say that.
Yeah, I generally. Sweet.
Okay. Everyone loves the environment. Great.
I think I personally would want to just make sure I do a little bit more research before I pass the referendum, but I'm definitely it sounds good.
Yeah.
I don't know if she said this, but I've been told that it's on average an $8 increase in property tax. So just saying.
I thought it was something
88 cents a
88
month.
cents.
Does that equal $8
Yeah.
at some point in time?
Nick, did you want to be put on staff?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, well, I had a quick question. So she has a statistic here where she's talking about the owner of a $100,000 home. I'm wondering what's the breakdown there? What's the math that's going into that? And is it a flat rate, or is it
Should that be
I think it sort of boils down to we need to do some more research before we actually vote, but I think there's general approval to write it. Is that what I'm feeling?
Yeah, and also in the discussion I had, it was kind of a staggered rate. So if your property is of a lower value, then you're going to pay a lower rate. So here it's the 0.3 number. So it would be lower. Or not the 0.3, I'm sorry.
The 1.3?
What am I looking at? So a $10 increase for 100,000 value. So it'd be lower if you have a lower value on your home.
Okay.
I can get those numbers.
Yeah, I would just love to see the breakdown.
Yeah.
If possible.
I would also like to see a breakdown, but I also think it's important that we pass this resolution neutrally and not be hey, here's all this information that is going to sway your decision. We're just really just trying to get people to vote now. And that's what she came in here to say. She doesn't care how people vote. She just thinks it's important for people to know that it's on the ballot rather. And I think passing a resolution would do that effectively without trying to create more work for ourselves to do this research. I think people should be doing that research on their own if they're voting, but just throw that out there.
So you're saying that the purpose would be to put information as opposed to take a side?
I'm not saying that we are taking a side, but I think we would be siphoning a lot of our energies into finding this research and compiling it to give it to students during this resolution, right? When we really should just be hey, this is happening, go vote.
I think we were talking more about us just doing our own personal, just make sure we're on board, not necessarily in the resolution drafting a report about why we support the thing.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is do you have to do your research to be on board for a resolution to tell people to vote?
Yeah, and I mean as the author I would do that and I would list all that and then we would vote on it. So it wouldn't take much work from everyone, it's just whoever's writing it. to list all that information out.
Yeah, I've actually had a few conversations with some faculty about a professor. Was it my geology professor? I think so. And I think it would be more beneficial if perhaps we endorsed yes on the levy in a resolution. That's just my opinion. But yeah.
I mean, like, I agree, obviously, but.
Yeah, so I think we have to be careful about like what she's asking us to do. She's not asking us to say to like throw our support behind yes or no.
I
She's
know,
asking
yeah.
us to sort of be a publicity agent, and I think and I mean I think what we should do, continuing on the gathering of information line, is we should get some information together and say, if you want more information, here's where you should go.
Yeah.
But in the resolution itself, I think we should definitely maintain a neutral stance.
I was just gonna say, if you guys want to keep talking about it, we should move it to discussions, just so that like we can move through the other things more efficiently.
Sure. Good call.
And I'm adding myself on Slack. Also, it's if someone wants to write a piece for the review or any other publication on campus, I know I have written I've written a letter of support on behalf of the OC Dems for different tax levies that were going on the ballot. I've done that before, and it's pretty easy to do so. You just write, I wrote like a page and a half, and it was brief with a little bit of research. So we can also do we can do an individual style thing like that, especially after the resolution, or even before. Either's fine. Yes.
Not related to that, quickly, I would like to add discussion about the metro parks under discussions.
Okay.
If that's cool. Thank you. Yeah, is that
something we have to do? Okay.
Yeah, real quick.
Do we? Okay. We can also continue, you don't have to move one thing to another.
I guess, are we still on, yeah, I suppose we're still on outside business, yeah.
Yeah.
I also, I just don't want this discussion to go for too long.
You can propose to put a time.
Let's just talk about it.
Yeah.
Instead of talking about it.
Fair enough.
It's, yeah.
My next.
Yep.
Yeah, I think some of our power lies in being a political institution and being able to take stances, and so it's not merely putting information out there, but also taking positions on things, because that in itself is a sort of influence that we have. And so I think while it is most important to get information out there, if we believe strongly that a certain action should be taken, then I think we're at liberty to do that, and say yes or no.
Did you have? Yeah.
So, actually, no, scrap that. Sorry, I'll just put myself on stack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then you're next.
Is that my next? Okay. So I'm just wondering, would it be possible to do kind of one resolution separately to just get the word out there that this is happening, something we could pass really quickly, and then at a later date, since this is obviously something we want to discuss about, get a resolution that actually has our support. So having something twofold. One would be to just get the pass something where we could say this is happening. This is Senate wants to let you know that this is happening. Go vote, and then perhaps a resolution afterwards, after people have had enough time to do their own research and to look over your research. Mahmoud, would be Senate. People would vote on the resolution whether or not Senate actually approves taking a direct action with regards to this levy. Would that be something people were interested in, or?
Is that a question?
I just raising it to everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it doesn't make a lot of sense to pass a resolution just to do outreach. I mean, if the purpose of the resolution is outreach, we might as well just do outreach. I think a resolution has power for the reasons Mahmoud was saying. It expresses our opinion as a body, kind of as a unified body too. And I also think the information she's asking us to pass out is basically a vote yes. The stuff on the back of the handout is we're in metro counties are fiscally responsible, they're important to our quality of life, and they're for all of us. It's pretty clear what she wants, and I think she wants our support to help get it passed. And I'm perfectly comfortable passing a resolution saying just that we as a body want it to be passed.
So I think we need to be very deliberate about what we do, no matter what it is. So if we do decide we're just going to send out something that says you should go out and vote for this, you should be aware of this, we should be giving people tools to get info, but we don't necessarily need to put info in the resolution. However, I think if we're going to throw our support behind it, we have to recognize that we're students that don't live here. We're not going to have to pay these taxes, So if we are going to say we support this, yes, we need to be very deliberate about how, information that we include alongside that, because we can't just say, we support this and you should too, without giving them information. Mm-hmm. We can say you should go out and be aware of this and educate yourself about it without giving information. I don't think we can say support this without providing anything else. That's fine.
I guess something that's on my mind is just how fast approaching November 4th is, or election day is, and that's something that we need to keep on our minds moving forward with this specific resolution. I also wonder if it would just be more appropriate to just pass a resolution go vote, and Senate approves of you voting. Here are the things that people have come to us and asked us to specifically advocate for here, and it's the metro parks, and that's so far all we have. That's I guess.
Pretty much it.
Clarifying question?
Yeah, can we pass resolutions over email?
Yeah.
Okay.
Beauty.
Did you want to be on stack?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just gonna say I like Megan's idea of just telling people to generally go vote as a resolution.
I just think we need to be unbiased and keep our hands out of it.
Clarifying question and then second.
Actually, take me off now.
Okay.
I'm just curious why, Megan and Corey, you guys think we shouldn't take a stance or need to appear unbiased?
I don't think I'm saying we shouldn't take a stance, but I think that given the time constraints that we are not prepared, I am not prepared to do research, to really think about and really process what our role as students in this conversation is, Nick brought up, and to really think about this information and think about this levy in a way that I feel it deserves. And I feel I don't know about y'all, but I don't think many of us are in a position to do that right now. And I think the time constraint is really important. It's not that I think we should be neutral, because I don't know, I think parks are great, and I think voting is more important. So for me, that is something that I do not want to deliberate over for much longer, is the fact that this vote needs to go out and that voting is happening on November 4th.
I think it makes sense for us maybe to pass a resolution saying go vote tonight, and then over the next week maybe over email, considering passing a resolution that's just pro parks.
I like that too.
Corey's next.
Just to get back to why Ty asked why to put something out in favor of voting instead of taking a specific stance. Megan also said that it could apply to other issues that get brought before Student Senate, and going off the fact that may happen, it would be good to just have a general resolution just urging people to vote.
No?
No, sorry, it was just...
I was actually... Did you... Yeah, I had a quick thing to say. I think...
There's people on stack.
Sorry, I thought I put myself on stack. I must not have. It's okay.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
You want to be on stack?
Yes. You know what? Don't worry about it then. Because by that point, it'll be not... Never mind. Go ahead, Anjali.
Oh, no, it's me.
There's two people ahead of you.
You
can think about it and okay.
Oh, it is me?
Yes.
Just kidding. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think because someone brought up that there are other issues that the town specifically does want us to look into. I've talked to a couple of the city council people, and there's stuff that there are other things that they want us to put a resolution on, and I don't know if we want to lump it together, and if that happens, I don't know how long that whole debate is going to take. So maybe if it's really just going to be a time constraint thing, then I guess we should just pass a resolution in the immediate future, just saying vote, because there's a lot of stuff that the city wants us to take a stand on, and I just don't know what that means.
I just want to bring up that I think there's a distinction between urging students to vote yes and urging the passage of the bill. Even though we do necessarily have no sway over students, I think they're two different things. And so in saying that we support the passage of this, we're not necessarily getting into the argument of do students live here and have to pay taxes and all that stuff. And I do think that, like you said, we should have a line about we acknowledge that we don't live here, and so that plays a role in what we're saying. But I do think that one of our biggest powers, if you want to call it that, is being able to take a stance on things. And so in terms of the research on this, I don't think it would take more than 30 minutes, and so I'd be happy to kind of look into everything. If someone else wants to join me on that, we can write this up tomorrow, and then I'll email it out. We may want to meet to talk about it, but I think we can also do it over email. So I don't think the time constraint thing is as burdensome as some people may be suggesting.
Nick, next.
Yeah, so I guess I had two quick things to say. One, Student Senate coming out and saying we should vote and keeping a neutral stance does not mean that each one of us individually has to keep a neutral stance. We can all go out and do our own campaigning however we want, and I obviously encourage all of you guys to do that if you want. I also think that if we're going to do this resolution, we should do that right now, and I'd be willing to make a proposal to say that we should draft a resolution now that says go out and vote on this, or go out and vote in general. Because I think we could sit here and we can talk about this for a long time, but at the end of the day, like if we're gonna throw our support behind yes or no as a body, we all have to have read and have thought about this and come back and I'm not ready to make that decision yet. I am, however, ready to make the decision that we should send out a resolution for everyone to vote on this. So.
Okay, Justin's next.
Yeah, I was going to say, contrary to what everyone was saying about saying one out now, I think it's so early before the election before the ballot that people are probably going to forget about what we're saying. And also, if we wait longer, first of all, we'll be able to research what we're saying. We'll be able to decide better if we want to be non-biased here, or if we pretty much all support this, and then we can go ahead and say vote yes for this. And then people are actually going to remember it. If other people come to us and say, we want you to put this on your resolution, we can just put multiple things on there, like these are the things we endorse. So I think there's good reasons to wait for this.
There's only one plenary before the night of election day, just to let you
Right.
know.
Do you know how early it is before the?
Before. So it's like 3 weeks. And that's nice.
Okay.
That's us.
So I guess even that's close enough to the ballot that will get us like right before the ballot. That's more useful than a month ahead when people are just going to forget exactly what we said.
Okay, next is Albert.
Yes, I am noting that our duty is to be the voice of the students on this campus. My question is why, or in what aspect of our authority is it to be the voice of outside parties rather than necessarily the student movement to the campus?
I would say it's also part of our job, just as it's part of our job to, bring in student opinion and enforce that. I think it's also our job to try and mobilize students at the same time. So, part of creating you have to create student opinion sometimes by giving people the knowledge that something is occurring. So I think this is one of those instances.
Corey's next.
I was just going to say, rather than necessarily come up with a specific resolution that we want to do now in regards to this, it sounds like Anjali has stuff that has to do with the city, and they might have interest in issues that they want to bring forward, so perhaps we should wait until after we hear that in the discussion portion of plenary.
Okay.
Yeah, just like kind of piggybacking off of that, actually, I figured something that could be cool is if Anjali and I, who are both like city and outreach coordinators on Senate, take the time to meet with this woman and like suss out exactly what she envisions our role in this whole thing is, because all she said is like advertising, and I wonder if she means like, do you want us to just tell people to vote, or do you want us to be opinionated? Like furthermore, just like gathering the resources and just like, I think we have some shit to figure out before we move forward. Maybe if it seems like, I don't know, people can't come to a consensus, then I'd like to like, I guess, is this it?
Yep.
Propose that we table and like wait until the next plenary, I guess, if people are not concerned about time, and we work on this a little bit and figure out our shit.
Ben is next, and then.
I think I totally agree with that. I think that we should definitely try to do something before fall break starts, just because especially because we'll have fall break and then we'll have maybe a week to get arranged things, especially in terms of publicizing things. Especially if it's gonna be in campus publications and stuff like that, because we need to get going on that pretty quickly. So. yeah, I agree with tabling it and discussing the other stuff as well.
How would people feel about maybe drafting a resolution that's very vague, like, hey, elections are coming up, keep that in the back of your minds, and it wants you to vote for now, and then like while we do our stuff, we can all deliberate, maybe like have an email chain. Yeah.
Well, why don't we just wait on the first part and make it part of the second, because it's just 3 weeks.
I'm comfortable with whatever. I just think
yeah.
table.
And at this point, registration's over, so you're not going to get new people to register. So it's just a matter of reminding people a few days before. I think would be.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. So table for the next plenary.
Yeah. Alright. Shall we move on, or would anyone like to jump on? Okay. So moving to move on to announcements.
Oh.
Hey. Any announcements?
Coffee with Chris office tomorrow. Don't forget.
10 o'clock.
10 p.m.
Ten's coffee at that time.
Do we need help set up?
Decaf.
Exactly.
Can it be like crumpets with Grislock?
Or tea with Grislock? No, crumpets. Crumpets.
Like
Like
Wait, did we both just say sleep?
I said it.
I said that
a little
too.
weird though.
Well done.
So no announcements?
Yeah, any announcements? Last call?
In addition to that one.
There's gonna be a cool comedy workshop tomorrow at the Gallery at East Ugly Castro. Last event of LHN. You all should be there if you want to laugh.
Alright. Shall we move on to office hour reports? Okay.
Albert asked.
This doesn't stop at that.
Not necessarily, no.
It
But
doesn't stop.
do you have anything else to add to the
No,
announcements?
it's just that I read the office hour report section.
Yeah, I have a proposal to make, which is, I don't know how legal this is, I don't know what it says in the bylaws, but I have a proposal that only people who feel like they have something to say about their office hours speak, and we don't all go around saying, we had office hours, nothing happened.
Yep.
That's,
I actually used to be how we did it, and I was very curious the first time that you all like chose to say everything.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Who has something to say about their office hours?
Okay, so let's start with Jordan and Zach and Megan.
Cool. So I had two people come to my office hours. The first was Pete Laff, who's a cool dude, but also involved with Rio. And he was just telling me that he was upset with the SFC on behalf of Rio because the SFC kind of managed to, like, I guess, miss Rio's budget and just didn't give him any money. So Rio still doesn't have a budget apparently, which is like a little upsetting. Or maybe they do now, I don't know. But anyways, so there was that, and then part two was the chair of SFC, whose name I'm forgetting. Mimi. Also talked to me.
Co-chair.
Yeah, co-chair. And I mean, the only reason I mentioned this because it wasn't a like really informative or like mind-blowing conversation or anything was just that I asked her about Pete Laff and Rio, and she said apparently at the end of last year SFC had a member who just like stopped doing all of his budgeting. So I'm assuming that more than just Rio fell through the cracks, and that there's probably a good amount of student organizations right now that just didn't get their budgets on time. So worth knowing about. I'm not sure if there's anything for us to do about it besides just trying to wait for SFC to catch up to the game.
Me?
Yes.
No, that's
Yeah, just wanted to remind you guys, I am starting on Monday, now that I've been to 6 out of 7 of the co-ops, I'm going to begin Oscar Liaison office hours at the Harkness Dining Room from 3 to 4 every Monday. Just wanted to tell you guys that, so tomorrow will be my first time holding these office hours. And if it ever comes up in a conversation that you think it would be a good idea to tell people about this, go for it. I'm going to email you, Nick, you said email you permanent information for the website. Was it Albert? Is that right? I'm going to email you about this so you can add it to the website tonight. If that's okay, so yeah.
Also, you put it on the calendar.
Yes, yeah.
excellent. Like,
It's very brief, just that the MRC staff approved of us me, Nick, and Nolan having office hours in their space. So that's a very exciting thing that we are Proud to announce.
It's really nice in there. You guys should check it out.
And there was food.
Where is it?
Just saying.
It
It's
is
in Wilder, two something.
Right over
we're in
there.
Wilder. Yeah, like 2 feet away.
It's right over there.
What? Where am I?
Yeah,
Do we have any update on our training? I sent an email
Who's
to one of our events
organizing
people.
that shit?
What training?
We have an MRC
The
training we're
MRC.
supposed to have. You know,
The trans allyship.
yeah.
Yeah, everyone, no one like responded to the when is good, and the people that did respond, there was one available spot in like a week, but it was like this Friday. But
Yeah.
so I'm going to redo that. One is good.
Who didn't respond?
I have to check on that.
respond. So I didn't. I don't think I got. I don't think I got the email at
Okay,
all.
that was at the beginning when like the.
Well, I responded, guys.
I wonder if it would make sense to squeeze this training in right now, or if it's something we should
you
not
do?
right now, like this at this point in time before fall break,
Yeah.
or if this is something we should try and get done like right after fall break.
No, I don't think we should try to do it during midterms.
Yeah.
Yes, especially because I need to coordinate with someone in the MRC and then pick out when's good for them too.
I'm just throwing that out there because I'll kill you.
So I'll send out another one is good for after break.
Okay. So, mine, I mentioned this in, introductions, but I met with someone just very casually during my office hours and discussed kind of the conversation that happened last week between the review and the SFC, and kind of. They were just kind of, he works for the review, and so he was kind of wondering, okay, so like what exactly happened? What do I need to know? Do you have any feelings? Like, he asked if I had any feelings on the matter, if I know enough about the matter, and I said, I feel like we as a body don't. Like we're starting to learn about this issue and figure out where we fit in the relationship between the student organization and the student government, but yeah, we still don't know very much. So.
Did you all get that email about, like, from the Grape about the? You did, yeah. What is it called? Something or other that they're trying to do. A coup. They're just trying to. The Grape and the Review have like signed or like drafted some sort of
petition.
Petition.
Yeah.
That is the word.
I didn't get that email either.
Forever. Yeah, and they're distributing it and they're trying to like get the SFC screwed over for doing this.
Yeah.
I don't take that off the record.
You can't. It's already.
I will. I'm gonna just forward it to everybody so everybody can take a look at that.
I'll just water it.
Yeah, dude. Well,
I'm
good
good
as
with that,
nothing.
yeah. Alright. Why didn't they just send that?
You guys all got it.
Why didn't they mention that?
Could just send it to Senate or whatever.
So wait, what are the particulars of this petition?
Shit if I know it.
No, if you go to the site, it's like really vague. It's like very vague.
Oh, of course, because it's the Grape.
It says
it's
off the record.
No, on the record.
I think the Grape might be involved, but the title just says Wilder Voice and Oberlin Review.
Wilder Voice. Oh, I thought somebody said Grape.
Fund the Oberlin Review and Wilder Voice.
Well, we're just talking about the Grape.
But I got it for it.
No, they're involved by now.
That's real.
I'll start stack. Do we want to start stack about this?
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Yeah, I just sent it to everybody. Everyone.
I understand. Can I get on stack?
Okay.
Did you send it to senators?
Yeah. Let me just try and make sure I did that again.
Why didn't they send it to the Senate account?
Yeah, that's so odd.
Jordan, are you raising your hand?
Oh no.
Okay. Ben.
Okay, so as my understanding of this is that it's them trying to demonstrate. I don't know for what purpose. I don't know if they're appealing or if they're doing something, trying to demonstrate that the student body does in fact doesn't support the reduction in stipends. So far it's got like 120 signatures, I think last time I checked, which I don't know how long it's been live, but that's also including like non-students, so I don't know. But in terms of like the general issue, I don't really know like what like we're supposed to do about it, because I don't. Ty, do you know if are they gonna appeal or?
I don't know if they're gonna appeal.
Because it seems like they
might.
Sorry, I was just checking if you got the email.
Has anyone else checked if they just got?
I didn't.
No.
Oh, it just came in.
Okay. Because like I don't really see what they're trying to do with the petition if they're not going to try to like.
I mean, maybe they're just preparing. This is like a step in preparing for an appeal. Yeah, I will definitely talk to the SFC people. I couldn't go to ad hoc today, but we have our policy meeting on Wednesday, so I'll talk to them. And if you guys want me to send an email with what the SFC is thinking about all of this, I'm happy to do that.
No. Did you want to?
Oh no, sorry. I'm just trying to work out. Could everyone let me know who didn't get the email, and I'll just send it. Okay, perfect. Okay, excellent. Okay, I will just make sure everyone gets it. Sorry.
Okay.
Just in clarifying what it is, it doesn't have like a specific purpose, I guess. It's more, it looks like it's more of they're trying to put pressure on the student finance committee to like make change. I don't know, it's not very clear. It says, we also demand that the committee make unbiased, fact-based budgeting decisions, communicate effectively with student organizations through the allocation process, and in partnership with the treasurer, maintain publicly available and up-to-date online records of allocation and minutes. So there's literally no very clear purpose. It's more of just raising awareness, it seems like. And then in that same vein, I would say we'd be very wary of taking a position here.
Yeah.
Considering we house both of them, and like this doesn't really seem our place to do something unless we're asked by the Wilder Voice to do, or by the review to do like an appeal through Senate or whatever.
Which could happen.
Which
I assume it will.
Angela?
Oh, no, sorry. It's my hand. I should be careful.
Okay.
Sorry, just another check, and I just sent it to everybody again. Everybody good? Okay, thanks.
Yes.
Anyone else? What did anyone else think?
Also, I would like, if anyone has any questions about just like how does the SFC work? How do they make budgeting decisions? If you just want to learn a little bit more about what they do, also feel free to email me or come to my office hours. Just like I can talk to you about it if you're curious.
Excellent. Shall we move on to committee?
Yeah, you have.
Yeah. Office hours.
Oh, you had office hours as well.
Yeah. So I met with some people during my office hours. Let's see. People interested in a couple of different committees. People seem to be liking the social media stuff so far.
Yes.
And so other than that, not much. But yeah, people seem to like social media. Especially the cheap data.
Yeah.
People like that.
It went up 214% from our last most viewed.
No,
I'm good.
Excellent. Okay, move on to committee reports.
What are those?
Excellent.
Yeah. It's cool.
So is anyone on the committee?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, can we do the same exact thing where if you did something, you'd say something? Beauty.
It's just so I'm the committee liaison. The spreadsheet is getting more and more. You know what? I'm going to just invite all of you guys individually, so that because for a lot of them, basically what you want to do when you get onto that spreadsheet is go all the way to the right, check last updated. If whatever the last updated time is updated in green, that means I got it like within the past week, so the information is super up to date. So I would say probably for 11 or 12 committees now, there's information as in like how many open spaces there are, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There are at least 8 committees with at least 1 open spot. Many have 2. And again, that's just the information that I've gotten back so far. So I believe all of you have to join a committee, right? Is that true?
Yes.
So definitely get on that. There was also a concern, like the first week we were talking about, Mahmoud, you wanted me to ask Pam if we can bypass the application process as senators. Was that something you raised? No?
I think I asked whether or not people who were on committees last semester had to reapply.
I see. So the answer to that question is no, I'm pretty sure, because I have info that says, like, this student was elected spring 2014.
Mm-hmm.
So then I assume since they're still on it, then yeah. Yeah, so I'll do that right now for you guys. Go on there, let me know if there are if there's anything you have a question about. If not, then email Corey or Ben, and they'll get an application your way. That's not my job.
I guess me or Corey should go next. I'll go next. We have some applications pending, I guess, for some positions. People are pretty slow about getting applications back, so I think we need to remind them a little bit forcefully.
Yeah.
And let's see, what else? Oh yeah, there are a lot of committees with open spots that would like to be publicized. So as soon as we get like sort of a final list for the committees, I think we can start doing just like a big push of publicizing committees. Because there's some that have like no students on them and need students, so.
Just off the top of my head, Equity and Diversity Committee, I believe, has 4 empty spots. So, I can double check that for you, but that's a good one.
Also, they have someone who needs to reapply as well, so I don't know if that's included in there.
Yeah.
And Nick, you had something to say about that?
I should get in contact with them. Anyways, sorry. I worked with them 2 years ago, and then I went abroad, and so yeah, never mind. Okay. I might do that one.
Cool. So I'm in the process of inviting all y'all to this. Oh, it's so pretty. I color coded it. This is my baby.
Excellent. Shall we move on to working group reports?
Yes.
I know I put ResEd and EMT because both of those met. And ResEd, we now have a kind of more of a working structure to it, and we have some goals that we've outlined, basically trying to reach out to members of or RAs and other people related to the ResEd offices. We're also interested in expanding that working group to campus dining services and to discuss kind of what's going on in campus dining services for a variety of different reasons. And so it's kind of grown in a little bit in some good ways. And then we also have a mission statement that we're still kind of revising, but we've got kind of some groundwork on it now.
If I could comment on that, just right now it's just very large. We're working on maybe reducing it to a mission statement in one paragraph.
Like more concise.
Yeah.
Who's missing today? Sarah, Zach? Is that it?
Yeah.
Cool.
There's no Zach's financial accessibility working group.
We met, yep. I mean, I don't know if you guys want to, we met, we, oh, okay. Yeah, we met, we talked about like some goals that we wanted to accomplish. I think we have a mission statement, is that true? Yes, we have a mission statement. I don't know, is there anything else that's critically important that you guys want to know? I mean, you guys are all welcome to join us at any point.
Excellent. The EMT working group also met. Sarah is the chair of that. And we met with Peter, who's he's a former senator and really did a lot of work as a former senator. And it's coming along fairly well. We at one time basically submitted a charter, and the Student Life Committee was kind of concerned about certain aspects of it. And so we're trying to go through and really kind of address each of the different issues that Student Life Committee had with the charter to begin with. And so it's moving along. been in the works for like 3 or 4 years now, with various levels of yay, we're making progress, but also it's kind of a big program. So that's what I have to report. It's going well. Peter's doing a lot of work on it. I have something I need to do. He wanted me to do something. No. Yeah, it was kind of work with Connor, someone. Anyways, it's going well.
We're talking working groups, right?
Yes.
Cool. So I had the South Campus working group on Saturday. Only 3 people besides Nolan and myself showed
I
up.
still never got an email about it ever.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Just saying.
That's despicable. No, yeah, you're right. That's despicable.
I just didn't know.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I was not expecting a lot of people to come. It's also like one of those things where like it's very difficult for us to do stuff until we have a lot of people there. We're like, this is what we want you to be doing, you know? So I wasn't super worried about it. So okay, Anjali, Zach, I'm gonna send that email. We're actually, we're just gonna send out another email with like an updated list of stuff. But so we talked about a few things, which was good. We talked a lot about how there's a feeling that Spanish House is not being used as the sort of community space that people think it should be, and it's primarily focused on language, and that's problematic for people in a whole ton of ways that I'm not going to get into now. I would rather people like be able to tell their own personal stories, and then I can at some point bring them to you guys rather than tell you guys what I think they feel. We also talked about the fact that tours, I don't think, go on South Campus anymore. They just don't. They stopped. Like, they just stop after a certain point and then say, oh yeah, that's
after the AGLC.
They
go to the AGLC and see the green machine.
Oh yeah, of course. So, and that's, in my opinion, unacceptable. So that's going to be sort of more long-term institutional changes. And what else did we talk about? Oh, this is sort of a fun initiative. We want to try to get TGIF on South Campus at least once a month. I think that'd be super great. It's actually a much better location than out front of Mud, because then people who are doing work on Friday don't want to jump out the window. It seems like a huge middle finger, right? Like, ha, we're done. Also, it would also just be great to have it down there every now and again. The acoustics are fabulous because it's surrounded by buildings, and it's a lot quieter than Northfield. There's less traffic, and it's also good visibility for communities that are down there that don't get a whole lot of visibility. And let me think if there's anything else that we mentioned.
You gotta clarify.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I just don't understand, but I haven't been here that long, so feel free to correct me. But isn't like Wilder Bowl sort of like halfway between North and South Campus?
Yeah, no, it would be more like a every other TGIF type of thing. We're not trying to move it down there permanently because it is obviously very difficult to get there from Village. You know what I mean? Like that's a solid 15-minute walk. We're also open. I was talking about this with Ali. I don't know if you guys know Ali Amiri. He's kind of the guy who's like really pushing for this. We were chatting and he's, we were talking like, oh, well, it would be dope to have it like, they're roughly 4 weeks per month, 4 different locations. That would be sick. There's a whole ton of logistical crap that goes into that. Like people need to volunteer to move all the stuff.
I'm sorry, maybe I didn't say it correctly, maybe I just don't get it, but could you explain to me why it's and this is not me judging you, I'm just curious, why it's really important to have it in South Campus, just for my education.
I'm just going to directly respond to that. I think what we want to do with this is it's a symbolic act in many ways. It's a symbolic act to kind of symbolize this is a working group that's trying to focus on creating visibility in a number of different ways for members of South Campus, and also kind of trying to struggle with what the identity of South Campus is in regards to the larger Oberlin issue. So to have a kind of large school-wide event on South Campus legitimizes in many ways as a space that is part of Oberlin. So if I could just give a response.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that. And do you have anything back?
Nail on the head.
Cool. Any other questions regarding South Campus.
Just recommend if we do that the city people find out what the deal is with the alcohol zoning.
Oh yeah,
Sure
see,
we have.
this is far in the future. I do know that it used to be done on South Campus, like as recently as like 10 years ago. So there are that's definitely been done in the past. So there's a way to do it in the future. And of course there isn't going to be another TGI. Oh, spoiler alert: there's going to be no more TGIS till spring.
Oh my.
So this is like a long-term initiative. So hopefully if we can get more support behind it, then we can figure out, we can start addressing stuff like that. Sweet.
Also, I just want to offer that, like, if any of you have questions about the whole La Casa thing, I can be one of those people that speaks to that experience very directly. So, throwing that out there.
Excellent. Sweet. Shall we move on to decisions?
Oh, well, I can quickly, since Sarah's not here, I can quickly talk about student health.
Yeah,
I can very quickly, and then maybe Zach and Justin can
Sure.
add in.
Hi.
Oh, Megan, my bad.
It's okay, Papa.
Yeah, so we met, which was nice. We sort of went over what the goals were for last year, and again, it was only about 5 people. And then at that point, we just kind of like, it was great actually. We just kind of started word vomiting and just coming up with a bunch of crap. We have a whole bunch of crap. I'm trying to remember what they were. The location of mental health, of like student health, the counseling service, that was brought up. Can you guys remember anything else?
I'm still working on that Plan B initiative. I'm going to start working on that again once I meet with, what's his nuts? John Hirschberger. Another thing is like this idea of like having better bereavement services on campus, and that's grief counseling for people who don't know what bereavement means. And like not necessarily in an institutionalized way, but also explicitly in an institutionalized way. So there's services that are provided in terms of services offered by disability services that do not encompass the needs of students who are grieving, but would definitely classify as something that impacts your academic performance and your livelihood on this campus. And we're trying to basically find which channels to go through to see how to get certain academic accommodations for students who are grieving, to get specific and targeted bereavement counseling for students who are grieving, as opposed to just generalized mental health awareness stuff. And then like kind of find a support group a support group in the community, because I don't know, normalizing it is important on this campus. Like normalizing grief and making that a subject that we're not uncomfortable with breaching, just because it occurs off campus. So yeah, that's one thing. Another thing that we are working on in that working group.
Me? Yeah, sure. We also talked about support systems for people with mental health problems or issues. How, for example, students don't seem to know that the Accessibilities Office, the Office of Disabilities, can provide accessibility accommodations for those with mental health problems. And we think that that could be a very good thing to publicize more, because I think it discourages students from actually seeking help, because there are many academically inclined students on this campus. So, and the problem that we're going to face with that is the Disabilities Office is pretty swamped. There's 3 employees and they do a lot of work for this campus. So it's an ongoing thing we're talking about, or going to be talking about at least. Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I'd add is another thing we're doing is trying to get better review for Counseling Center, because right now it's through them, which isn't very helpful. So we're just going to do a third-party review that you can give us opinions on the Counseling Center, and then we can work to improve the Counseling Center off that.
Cool.
Excellent.
Just one last thing. The Sexualized Violence Working Group hasn't met yet, but I talked to Meredith Raimondo, who is the Title IX coordinator, and who is like one of the like spearheading agents in this new, like the overhaul of the sexual offense and sexualized violence policy at Oberlin. And we're gonna meet sometime before fall break, and I'll keep y'all posted. That's probably gonna happen, like that meeting is going to happen way before meeting with like a huge group will go. Will happen rather, so. Just FYI.
Good to know. shall we move on to the next thing, which is decisions? And I believe the first thing on decisions is about the green liaison. So.
All right, so could I just very quickly speak to that? So I just think it's important to have, I know we have a diverse interest in everything. So when I'm saying that I think green liaison is a really important position, I do, but I'm not saying that I don't want to foist it on anyone else to do. If we did reinstate the green liaison, I would be more than willing to take up that position, or of course share it with anyone else if they were willing to take up that position. I just think like Senate has consistently had a green liaison, and it's very important for someone to be actively engaged in the environmental studies community here at Oberlin College and to bring those concerns to campus, since it is a very substantial community and also a very nebulous community, and so having someone who's able to navigate the diversity of issues within that community, as broad as it is, and just kind of synthesize those concerns and to bring those to Senate's attention would be really important. That's all I want to say.
Megan?
2 questions. 1, would you want help with that from anybody else on Senate, or is that something you are comfortable with? If we do pass this and decide to like have a green liaison, would you be comfortable being the only person working on that initiative in that like very strict sense that you are spearheading it? That's my first question.
Direct response.
Direct response. Yes, I would be willing to do it. But that being said, I'm more than happy to have help on it. But I would be, if no one wanted to, that'd be fine.
Okay, so my second question is if there is anybody else in this space that wants to do that. Speaking.
It's only one senator to serve as the green liaison.
Only one senator? Guess what I'm gonna say, can we just make Nolan that before, I mean like yes, we decide if we want this in general, but like immediately thereafter, once we make that decision, whether or not it's gonna happen, if we do want it, can it just be Nolan?
Is anyone interested in the position? Is anyone else interested in the position? I think that's okay. Then Kai is next.
Yeah, you are the head of the Green Edge working group, correct?
I think it's this sustainability.
The sustainability
and the
transportation working group.
Yeah.
Sustainable transportation?
Yeah. So
or is that a different?
Environmental sustainability and sustainable transportation working groups are just 2 different ones. Because it's a little confusing. The environmental sustainability working group hasn't met yet, and the transportation group is meeting on Tuesday. They're just 2 distinct. Yeah, sorry.
But you're the head of the environmental one.
Yeah.
Have you started figuring that out?
No, not yet.
Okay. So, but you're the head of that work.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. Next is.
Real quick, what else are you doing? I don't want you to like get super overwhelmed by this. So
let's see. Well, the thing
think
is,
about this for a second.
I'm also doing the South Campus and chartering liaison. And chartering liaison, from my understanding, is not too much of a burden. It's just kind of more consistent work, which I'm actually sharing with Jordan. So that's going to be even easier. So I personally think I'm going to be able to take it on. Okay, and once again, if like I have a big issue with it, I'll of course come to you guys again at a plenary and just tell you that, listen, I'm having trouble working on this. If I can operate at full capacity, I might need some help on it, but no.
Just as long as you're comfortable.
Okay. Me. You're also. Are you a part of both? You're also a part of both the environmental sustainability and transportation. Okay. So with that, considering we have a working group for it, do we just want the working group to exist to function as the green liaison, or do we want an official position as well? It's fine. It's fine to add that title. I'm fine with adding that title, definitely. It's just one of these kind of things that it's like we have the green group and then we have the green liaison, which is directly related to the group, which is great. Yeah.
I was just sorry. I think Albert has a direct response. Yeah.
Well, if you have a direct response, that means, and then your response.
I guess, so just a clarifying question. I just had an opinion to that, so I'm not sure if that would be a direct response or not.
Just
like,
say it.
Just say, okay, sorry, yeah. All right, yeah. So I think it's important just because if I'm the head of a working group, that kind of isolates my role in some degree. People who are in the working group can approach me, of course, because they know me, but if anyone has any environmental concerns and they look up and they see, here's the Student Senate Working Group on Environmental Sustainability, I can't go to any of these times. There's no green liaison on Senate. Senate's not really interested in this, but if they see, okay, here's a green liaison, his office hours are here, I can send him an email. So it just, I think, broadens the accessibility. That's just my response to that.
According to the bylaws, the Green Liaison shall serve as a full voting member of the Edge Board with the power to bring proposals to Senate as outlined in the charter of the Edge Fund. The Green Liaison shall play a role in publicizing the Edge Fund and recruiting proposals and student participation. So this is a function which is outside of the working group. And so in theory, that's a compelling reason to have that, and have Green Liaison to be in the same mode as appointing senators to various committees. This is a spelled out member of the Edge Committee, just as the SFC co-chair is on the SFC.
Yeah, and then the Edge Fund, is that a committee?
It's not a faculty committee, so it doesn't count as being a member of the committee.
Right. So I guess the question is, like, are you prepared? Like this, the Edge Fund thing is something else in itself. It's you're on this Edge Fund committee, whatever it is. You have voting power. I guess that's just like something else besides just your work group. Were you aware of that? Do you have the
I must admit, I wasn't actually previously aware of that. However, I just want to be clear. I'm more than willing to try and do this responsibility, as I think it's really important. I also would like it to be an evolving conversation. If it's something that's too much to handle, I might have to get rid of one of the working groups in order to fulfill my role as Edge Fund. So but I still think it's important, and I'd really like to try, if that's all right. Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. Did you have a proposal?
I was going to, but just said kind of changed it. How about you find out what the times are?
Okay.
Since we are talking not only about the position, but specifically you, I think the question of whether or not we're going to have it comes down to us having to reconcile the bylaws with the handbook.
Okay.
And it sounds like we are in favor of having it, so someone just needs to do that. How do you find out when their meetings are? Because I think it's 2 times a week for an hour each, and then if you feel like you can do it, then we'll officially make it happen. But I think otherwise you're involved in everything else that position would entail, so as of now you're still functioning.
Okay.
Excellent. Cool.
Oh no. Just stretch my wrists.
So
I'll just make a proposal that we table the discussion of whether we have a green liaison or not until I get more information to you.
Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Sounds good. All in favor? Aye.
Oh, yes.
So, does that conclude decisions? Do we have any other decisions that we need to add on to the thing? Excellent. Okay. I'm going to propose that we take a 5-minute break to stretch our legs and then resume.
I like that idea.
Yes.
Really
Can we make that a thing?
I love it. Sitting for 2.5 hours. So let's be back at 8:25.
You got it. Huh? Yeah, we're going 30 feet. So 30 feet from the building, Michael. Can't get mad at us. Do we stop the recording?
And like did not actually know when we met.
We just stopped the recording.
I mean, it's fine. Anyway, so
Unless just don't say anything incriminating.
So from
my conscience is clear.
We should take your name off of that.
And
Right. Yes. I'm just going to so I'm going to see
Thank you.
so I was just gonna forget, and then that would be bad.
These guys are required a residency program.
Wasn't that?
Not sustainable transportation. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. sustainable transit is meeting
How you doing?
the information on the website for that is the environment. It is
Did you go hard?
so he does meet with the leader, and the problem is the things I just said to them because they're saying, I can send them email saying, let's create this group, but I know it exists in the past, I'm just track down who's been on, and I can, mass email about, oh, what's up, really interesting, and someone, and then that, it's already occurring, and it's already, so, I'm going to try to sit down and figure out, how to do that.
It's too late.
It is way too late. But I just think I need to go. It'll be
Honestly, I mean, yeah, like,
we'll talk.
Okay, yeah, it was just like stressful.
But
Nothing that exciting.
I think I need to talk to Timothy Patch, who's senator last year.
I had one of my econ midterms, but I have 2 econ midterms, and they're like a couple of class. Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah,
it's just
econ midterm part 1, but econ midterm part 2. But the next one is in November, which is even worse in my opinion. But yeah, then I have 2 like separate time midterms. Like I had one last Thursday, and now I'll have one November 2nd. But they'll be in the same class.
I thought like they should hang out and never take it.
Yeah, do not. It's so weird. I mean, but it depends on your professor. My professor just happened to be bizarre. I'm the only class that does it. But that means that midterms for me are 40% of my grade. For everyone else, it's 25%.
But I just wanted to tell them that like they were more than that. And like Trudy also told me. Have fun.
Oh yes, it's a joy.
That's all I wanted to do. Was just cool. You can go talk.
Just the stuff. I'll admit, I've let events.
Your breaks.
Slip through the cracks.
I feel like
No, for sure. For this thing that we're doing, maybe for the whatever we're doing, the thing, parts, we can do a debate.
we could organize it because I'd like to
Yeah, but I don't know if anyone's.
Oh yeah, wait, I want to see that website.
Yeah, like once we get information, I'll share.
And I don't know about things right? Like, I heard having to distribute I don't know. And like that was something that was like too.
Yeah, never gonna be better time than
Essentially, we've been breaking the law for. So I'm sure we can tell you.
Yeah.
You're confused. Like not that much. Yeah, and then just
not that I really needed help, but
I don't think so. I was gonna say, do you have like one-on-one meetings sometimes? It was like the video lecture series thing? Oh, okay. You can transfer the series. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, that would be at least that's cool. Yeah, tell them I say happy.
I'll be there. Oh, it's 25.
Are we going to have Thursday?
I mean, I was planning on it, y'all want to, it's not critically important for happiness, but okay, wait, how many, like, exams, and we can, yeah, a bunch of stuff going on that Friday?
I think
No problem.
Yeah.
What is it? Nice. Send it out again, whatever.
We could do dinner. I thought about doing email.
So I think everybody's on.
That's Cal State. I want to Cal State. You know,
Kyle has some amazing dances. You really does. Wow, you really went ham on this.
I have 2 more left.
I don't know. I was going to do like a regular
Success for his hand for some fire minerals.
in terms of like the time needed. Also, like,
No. I mean, you don't say that this time. But, like, you don't always have to do like.
You see the transition from
Thursday
girl to
Thursday, but like you want to get dinner. You want to. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Go to the park. Like I don't know, but I just.
Yeah, we can enjoy our kind of beautiful park.
Oh yeah! Now that I have all these exciting events, we can go on a hay ride together. How cute is that?
town called Westfield. Okay.
In Westfield, New Jersey, born and raised.
Or we could go see Stinky Kids the musical.
So, Cory Booker.
Cory Booker's chill. I'm deep with Cory Booker. I wish Cory Booker had stayed in Newark for longer.
Yeah.
Oh, do you have
Because he was doing great stuff in Newark, and he was like, peace.
Not yet.
I'm gonna go Senate.
I'm gonna go to the,
Did you guys read his the thing in the New Yorker about him?
Was it recent?
School a few months ago. It like cast a pretty negative light about the ed reform movement and stuff.
About the what form?
That was a really long one.
Yeah, the education reform movement. Hand-in, and like I like Cory Booker.
Did he did he just pan charter schools? Shit on charter.
Well, there's like there's definitely like just an industry of like New York and Silicon Valley dudes who make a lot of money off ed reform, and it sounds like a lot of the money he got from Zuckerberg ended up like just going there. So anyways, it's worth reading if you like.
Yeah,
because I loved Cory Booker, and then I read that and I was like,
Yeah, I have a friend from Newark who really doesn't like him.
When you set the bar of corruption at New Jersey, that's disappointed. So, you know.
Yeah.
Should we? Is it on or?
Oh,
did
we pause it?
Yeah, it was paused.
Guys, you can't touch this. You don't know how to work it.
Like I did it.
Just like one big red record button, right?
Thought you were getting bus.
Guess so.
Jeez.
Why did I think Cory Booker went to my high school? Because everyone did. Anyway.
We got everyone back.
Except for our facilitator.
Yeah.
Woo!
Nick!
Hey, before we start, Nick, how do I apply for it? Do I just email the chair?
Email oc.committees@gmail.com, and they will. These two lovely gentlemen will send you.
We'll send you an application.
I just sent you guys
It's
an email.
so
in
easy.
fact.
Don't
Did
be
you?
intimidated.
I did.
Well,
Admissions
Let's
see.
You're doing the health
Yeah, I think each other.
I am in it. I'm not running it.
Can I just can I give your email to the friend who wants to get in on that?
Yeah, or you can give the email of the person who runs it, which is Sarah at
Gmail.
I just figured
Yeah, no, that's fine. You can totally have her contact me, but Sarah Ebb is the guy. Is the Gmail.
I'll give them both and tell them.
Okay.
Wait,
Did you-
It's like really basic.
oc.committees@gmail.com. We are not an Oberlin EDU address.
It's a little
I guess
confusing.
I don't know. Do we?
You talking about the email for Equity and Diversity?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I just want my applications.
Hi everyone.
Oh, hey, you're back.
What's up?
Where's Nolan?
Where is Nolan?
He was just here.
He was.
We don't need every person to be
Where's Nolan?
Okay. So, shall we continue with the discussions
I mean, if you say so.
about? First off, it looks like time cards.
Yeah, okay, can I talk about this for just a little bit?
That's comical.
So, I've not been treasurer trained yet, and I'm gonna be like talking with Sarah about what that entails, but I am going over time cards, and I have to say, so time cards are on your individual like OC mail account and not on the Senate account. Everyone has their own. You need to share them with me. For now, at least.
Your personal email or?
Yes, my personal email. You can share them with the senators too, but not a lot of people have done that either. And you should also share them with Sarah, just for now.
Are you
treasurer.
Oh, you're treasurer. Oh, okay.
Can I suggest that instead of that, you send it to the Senate? Because then it's easier because
Just send it, yeah, sure.
Yeah, multiple
That's
people
fine.
to look at.
Yeah, because I just sent it to Sarah, I'm sorry.
No, yeah, that works
But
too.
Sarah made it very
Oh my God.
clear
Yeah.
that she
Thank you,
wanted
though.
us to share it with her email because she didn't want to be responsible for checking the senator email. She said like,
Oh, yeah.
She did say that. That's why I asked. But if you guys just want to send it to senators, that's fine too. The only thing is, Sarah's not here, so no points are going to be assigned. But I only was only 4 people shared their time cards with me. So
Sarah.
yes.
Are they due every week or every other week?
Every week.
Every week?
By 2 p.m. on Sunday.
Okay, that was my
How
point
does
of,
it
okay.
For what?
How does it work for like weeks that we're on break? We've not
I have no clue. I don't think it matters for that.
You don't work, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if anybody else has encountered technical difficulties with their time cards, but mine, when I click share, the doc freezes and doesn't really do anything.
I'm so sorry about that. I don't know what to do about that either.
I just don't know where it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
It should be shared with you.
They shared us by the office student treasurer.
But Sarah also was telling me when I shared this, like, my time card is broken, concerned that apparently they haven't given all of us time cards yet.
That's true, yes.
So,
not everyone has gotten time cards.
I have,
but like I said,
Yes.
have what?
The time cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think really we're not making a salary this semester. So for now, at least for this week, it's not the most vital thing ever. But according to procedure, it should be done by 2 p.m. every Sunday, and it will be the stakes will be higher. Next semester it is looking.
Stakes are getting raised.
So it would be good if you guys are diligent about that. Really for now, what I'm just looking at is to see if there's any, I mean, I don't know why you guys would do this, but we're looking for any deliberate fabrication. I feel like, so, and I honestly don't see it being a problem, but it's just, you know, we're just going by the book.
Just the pride of
Yeah, yeah, so, share it with the senators for now. I guess I only asked people to share it with me because Sarah was asking people to share it with her, and it's her and I are the 2 people that are supposed to look at them every week. And I did look at what was shared with me, so good job, Nolan. And Nick Olson and Albert, all shared with me. So.
My clarifying question is,
sure,
because it's turning every week by Sunday at 2, but it's a continuous spreadsheet, so does it mean once it's shared with you, just as long as you complete it up to that time?
Yes.
Turning it in.
Precisely. Just updated for everything before 2 p.m. on Sunday. And I think you can also put that Sunday's plenary, but I'll talk to Sarah about that this week. I think she might be sick. She didn't respond.
The 21st birthday.
Oh, is that today?
Yeah.
That's why. Yeah, it's a 6. She tried to do some clerical stuff today about it. So yeah, next. So I don't. There's no plenary next week, but hopefully this will all be sorted out by the next plenary. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is just for you.
I had a quick universal concern. So I have my time cards right now. Are we supposed to like copy basically? So I have it. It's from 9 September to 22 September. Are we supposed to basically copy paste the buddies, paste them down?
You should have like little tabs on the bottom.
Oh, tabs. Question answered.
Point.
Oh, they're tabs.
Also, maybe check it for just it's about dates.
Okay. Angela's next.
Oh, it's not. I mean, it's not like that big of a deal. I was just wondering, like, for things that are like emails and updating the Facebook and like the Twitter. It's not like a time. It's not a date. It's not like an hour. So I just like
What I'd approximate it. Just try to keep aware of how eventually you are going to get paid, and you should be a little more diligent about. Again, I want you guys to, when it comes down to it, be compensated for what you're doing. That's part of what my job is going to be. So yeah, just be diligent about it and keep it in mind. It's hard to. I have a lot of I had stuff like 3 things a day going on that were really short, and it was hard for me to file them. So I had to kind of finagle it a little, and I'm going to talk about that with Sarah as well. So yeah.
Point on the time, not the time, but the dates on the card. They're off by one calendar date.
Oh, are they?
And although they've got a magic formula, so you just change the first date, up until I think it was the first Monday, then it'll automatically change the rest.
Yeah.
You go through and
Let's all do that then.
set it back by one. Otherwise, you get there like balancing your checkbook and you've got. But the Sunday is not this. Sunday is not the 13th. It's the 12th.
Yeah, because it's on 2013 year.
Sorry. If you have a more direct way of changing it, that would be great. But I just went through each 2 weeks and just changed the first date.
Ooh, now I got everything. Also, so on the side here it says use decimals instead of minutes, e.g. 11.75 as 11:45. So I have right now 2 p.m. to 2.5 p.m. Are you going to be able to understand that?
No, and I'm gonna.
So you want me to just write 2:30?
So okay,
like a normal person?
Just do what you. This week is like she's not here to even give points, so it's not like I said. The stakes are not so high.
Can I have a direct whatever?
Yeah, sure.
I think that the 2.5 and decimal bullshit is all about the total. So when you're
Oh, yeah.
aggregating, when
It's
in
like
the aggregate,
yes.
yeah. So like you can still say 2 to 2:30, but then be like, I worked
this many
0.5 hours.
That's probably the
as opposed to, like,
that's
30
how
minutes.
that's probably what with the final that's the best that's the great suggestion. That's how we should do it. Yeah.
Sick.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Shall we?
Moving right along.
Anyone else like to talk about this, or shall we move on to City Hall?
Hi, I just wanted to sort of just debrief you guys, let you know what we heard, what we talked about at the City Hall meeting. Here, if you want to take the first couple of things, and then I can, you left, because
I actually don't have the notebook that I'd like to
All right.
notes in.
No
'Cause I'm a shit
problem.
show. It's fine.
No problem. They talked about like the storm water system, the water quality. I don't know if this is necessarily important. I'm just letting you guys know. The Oberlin police cameras, all of the police officers are now wearing cameras. That was also in the review. There's a public hearing for proposed zoning amendments at 6:40 on Monday, November 17th. So if you guys are interested in that, and a public forum on the refuse/recycling on Wednesday the 15th. So if you guys are interested in that. Also, I met with Councilwoman Soucy, and she was suggesting that maybe some things that Student Senate could get involved in were so she tried to pass a minimum wage legislation to make all city workers, so people who work for Oberlin, like in the governmental system, make their minimum wage $10.10. It did not go through, but she was thinking about trying again. So if that's something we want to put our weight behind, we could. Also, yeah. Also, I'm just gonna give you all the information and then you guys can talk about it. Also, there's because of a thing that was passed in the in the Ohio Supreme Court, people are allowed to bring their guns to public parks. So people started doing that in Oberlin, and that was like a real problem for the city council. But there's not much they can do. So they were wondering if we wanted to just spread the word, make that information available, because it's like a problem with that public parks with young children, people can carry their guns. So I'm done, if anyone wants to talk.
Can I piggyback off of is that okay, or do you want to?
No, do you think? I just will say something next.
Okay, cool. It's really funny because Abdali was just like, oh, like the storm drain stuff, but that took up like an hour and some change of that entire meeting. And after I had to leave early, but I met with the gentleman who provided that presentation. Basically, they're raising some sort of tax, and it's going to be a very expensive for the city of Oberlin. There's just the rain comes and it floods the streets, and when the streets aren't properly tended to and the drains are overflowing, then it mingles with sewage stuff, and then that all goes into Plum Creek, Black River, and ultimately Lake Erie. So that's why it's a huge concern. And prior to coming to, after my freshman year, I did some work with a nonprofit in New York City, and the New York Soil and Water Conservation Team, and we built these giant gardening plots, which captured a significant enough portion of the rainwater that it would affect it would decrease the amount of like excess water in the streets that would flood into rivers with like polluted other mess. And something that I talked to these gentlemen about after the meeting, specifically this guy named Jeff, was about having a student initiative where we build these plots that would capture a whole bunch of rainwater. So it would be not, because they're also like the proposal that they're doing. It's considering the our being here, students, the population of students here affects how people are being taxed because of like this per capita bullshit. And like just brainstorming ways that the student body can hold ourselves accountable to the impact that we're having just by virtue of being in Oberlin, and like thus shifting the categorization of Oberlin to like an urbanized space, which because it's like what 1,500 people per mile square. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, just like an initiative that I think ties really well into this lady's Cindy's initiative is just like having students come and like build these plots, volunteer to build these plots that'll capture rainwater, which will reduce the amount of rainwater on the streets, which will hopefully affect the tax that will be put on the residents of Oberlin. So yeah, just some more, just like a concrete, yet really like really ambiguous plan of things to do given that really long conversation that we sat through. So.
Directors. That sounds like a good project for the Green Edge Fund. I want to give a project for
absolutely.
Beauty.
I will. We should. Yeah, absolutely.
So, just to talk to you guys about the minimum wage thing, I don't know how aware you guys are of this, but Ohio minimum wage is a little less than $8, and yeah, is it $7.95?
$7.95.
Yeah. And living wage in this part of Ohio is about a third of a dollar more than that for someone working full time. I would say, just doing some like living wage calculator stuff on the internet. So I don't know what you guys would want to do about the city's minimum wage proposition or what the student body can do, but that's something I'd be very interested in supporting. So that's like, it's very cool of you to bring up. That's all yeah.
And Angela's.
Yeah, I was just
direct response.
It's not. Well, I have a direct response and then I have a general thing, so it can just wait a second.
I'm just providing some facts because I got some paper. So if you
go for it.
Okay.
Facts.
So basically, the student council recently voted to spend $75,000 on brick pavers, but voted down a $25,000 raise to the minimum wage, which is what it would cost the city of Oberlin. So and then a couple of city council members said like they should work for that, but a 53-year-old man who's been working for 7 years has still not made it to $10.10. So then it becomes how long do you really have to work to get there? And I realize that obviously we don't live here, we don't necessarily, but I was thinking that might be something that because it is part of our job to try to motivate students to be active in our communities, and I think that this might be a really coherent thing that we could try to work towards. So I don't know if I'm proposing anything, I'm just letting you guys know that if you wanted to work with me on some type of thing about this, talk to me later.
Okay, so two things. Yeah, she just pulled up the minimum wage. It's $7.25 in Ohio, not $7.95.
I think that's out of date.
No, it's 2014.
That might be Lorain County's minimum wage, $7.95.
Oh, that's possible.
As of January.
Okay,
as of this
so
year, so
different for the county instead of the state total. Cool. Second point, then, is the minimum wage being set in a vote that would be happening this fall? Would we be? Is this another ballot issue? Would we be go vote, make sure? Or are we stepping into Oberlin community?
Just because I happen to know, because she told me. It would be a city council vote, so just the members of city council would vote on this. It's not a county vote.
Would people be amenable to the idea of having a task force on getting the initiative out about this issue and perhaps looking for avenues that students can actually get involved in this kind of politics?
Well, why don't we figure out what
what
they want
is
us to do?
What they want us to do,
first.
yeah.
Figure out what we do.
That wasn't a proposal, that was just kind of, getting it out.
Yeah, fair enough.
Is that for me? Okay.
Yeah. Do you know when the city council would actually vote on this? Yeah.
Well, it depends on when she brings it up again. So it'll probably be like a couple more meetings because she has to like redraft, and then we'd have to like try to convince the people who voted against it to like take into consideration like, I don't know, maybe we could do like a letter writing campaign. I'm not entirely sure, but
Any ETA though, like actual
date? No, I could talk to her if you want.
It just
problem.
sounds like an interesting thing for us to get.
Yeah, no, I could get, if you want me to come back next plenary with like actual like dates before we decide anything, that's fine.
Do what you gotta do.
Okay, I don't know if it's a yes or a no.
I mean, to me, it's a yes. Yes, it's a yes.
Okay.
If we're tabling the discussion, I'm fine.
Okay. Proposal to table the discussion.
Yes. Yay.
Okay. Cool. Shall we move on to the steering committee and the trustees and someone serving on the steering committee, which is kind of unique.
I guess I'll start. So I think everyone probably saw there was some email discussion last week about bringing up the issue of the steering committee, student membership and stuff like that at the trustee forum on Thursday. Yeah. And so some of us went to the forum and sort of voiced our concerns, and then talked with trustee about maybe sort of creating a continuing dialogue about it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think what Ty's email and the emails we were talking about were really interested in adding members to the steering committee, and we got a pretty hard no on that. So if we really want to, we could push back, but she also, Diane, used the trustee co-chair of the steering committee. She was pretty open to working with elected representatives in other ways, just not as sitting members on the committee. She suggested coming in, the steering committee is going to be meeting in December and March again this year. So she suggested having the steering committee sit down with a group of students who can then just like ask them questions and kind of get them on the record on certain issues and stuff. So I think that's something we should look into. Eric actually emailed me and Ben and Mahmoud about finding a time to meet and kind of talk about what exactly that's going to look like. So if we as a body are kind of comfortable looking at trying to figure out some kind of either us or I don't think it really makes sense to like have elections of people to talk to the steering committee because that just seems like a pretty small job to warrant such a big process. Seems like too small a job to warrant such a big process that is. That I don't know. So that's kind of what we were thinking about.
Albert had this great idea when we were talking about this the other day. He thinks it would be awesome potentially for the steering committee to put out some type of referendum of their own to gather student opinions and feelings about potential issues. That would be a cool thing to bring up to the steering committee during that, during discussions with them.
So they had the email that they sent soliciting question or input on 2 specific questions and then just general comments. Those responses are posted on the website. If that's what you're talking about.
How was student participation?
There were a lot. I think there were like 60 something responses.
Okay, cool.
That's all
If I can just add one thing. I think also there was some discussion about other things that the steering committee could possibly do besides like adding student members or anything like that to make it like a little bit more accessible or transparent for students, just because like they publish like summaries and stuff, but they don't like actually publish like minutes. And I mean, there's some concerns about that, about privacy and people feeling safe in the space. But I think that could also be something that we could talk to them about increasing sort of, not necessarily accountability, but also kind of accountability. Some of those issues.
This actually, I'm sorry to. Actually, never mind.
Oh, you should say it.
It doesn't actually have to do with anything, so I'm having it.
You get it. Cool. Any other commentary on the steering committee?
Quick meeting.
Don't bite your tongue.
And don't speak too soon. Yeah.
It's gonna take us an hour to send this.
Yeah.
It's gonna be.
Shall we choose a facilitator for next meeting and discuss how we want to handle next week? Because I know I will be out of the state, and I imagine several of you will be as well. We are actually not required to have, at least last time I checked, we're not required to have a meeting every week, but we're required to have one every other week, but it's become kind of the norm that we have one every week.
Well.
We.
What do you try to say?
Huh? So we don't technically need to have one next week. If people want to get together, whoever's on campus on Sunday, do that. Then they can do that. The issue is quorum.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's
Like
gonna-
who's gonna be on campus next Sunday?
You mean this Sunday or next Sunday?
This
week
coming
from
Sunday.
today.
The next Sunday after
The
this.
19th. Next Sunday,
Fall
then.
break starts Friday or Saturday.
So not today,
That's
not
Sunday.
next
Are you
week,
gonna
the one
be
after?
here on Sunday? Okay, so that's just me and Megan, I think.
Hey.
So we're talking about a week from now. Now, what about a week from now? Well, that's 2 weeks from now.
Is anyone not going to be here?
When?
I'm not sure.
2 weeks from now.
Is that a break?
I will it's the day before a
I
week
think
that
I
we
might be here.
Oh shit.
But
It might be the.
subject to trial. I'll be getting back.
Yeah, subject to trial.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, let's be in touch with each other.
I'm back 5:25. I'll be here.
So I'd propose that we have maybe not a facilitator who's actually going to facilitate a plenary, but someone who's kind of keeping track and maybe sending an email, casual email over fall break saying, are people back? If responses are positive, then maybe holding a plenary, but just to kind of keep it, Senate in the loop about whether or not there needs to be a meeting or anything like that. I don't think we need to decide on anything right now.
Oh shit.
So that proposal to have, I guess, an interim facilitator. Yeah.
Maybe
Would
they can
anyone like
rotate
to
it.
volunteer to do that?
Well, is anyone?
No little.
No.
Oh, okay.
You team.
Lovely.
Fantastic.
Beautiful.
And then shall we check
You're so
out?
good at this.
Yeah. We should check that.
Okay.
We're gonna finish on time.
Huh?
Early.
Early.
We're finishing early.
It's not early.
As long as we actually do the checkout. So.
So checking out. I am going to survive midterms, but I'm also going to hopefully meet with the sexualized violence working group.
Hey.
I'm going to coffee with Chris Law. I'm going to hold office hours, and I'm going to leave it at that at this moment. I'll be in contact with other people and looking for members for working groups. And for fall break, I am going to Chicago to visit my grandparents / family, and also a lovely gentleman, and also to visit and also to visit
Yes, good press.
Northwestern and University of Chicago.
Oh dang.
Grad school.
Whoa.
Oh shit. Reality.
We can't be the only.
Mahmoud, as you have his, I'm going to talk with Chris tomorrow. I'm going to write up this resolution for the Metro Park Levy. I'm going to have my office hour. What else? I think that's going to be it. And I'm going to go to South Dakota for an IYS trip.
Heck yeah. That's awesome. Yay, Mahmoud.
Are we talking about what we're doing over fall break?
Yeah.
Cool. And plus our tasks. I'm gonna continue my dialogue with the Oberlin review. I'm gonna do some digging as to what budgetary problems the SFC might be having with groups, with Rio and other groups as well. And keep trying to get that working group pulled together. Yeah. Over break, I'm going home for part part of the time, and then I'm also going to RISD to visit a friend for the other part of the time.
Ooh,
so
nice.
home to Denver.
Jordan, you see his. So this week, Senate related stuff I'm gonna do. I guess student engagement working group. We're supposed to meet again this Thursday, so I'll do that. I'll hold my office hour the hour after that. And then coffee with Krislov on Monday. I guess me and Nolan are going to be meeting with that charter maybe sometime this week, which should be cool. And I think that's just about it. Senate-wise next week. For a break, I'm going to go home to Boston by way of New York. Spend a day or two in New York and then chill out and go to Newton, Massachusetts. And then do the same on the way back. So yeah, it's going to be fun.
Hi everyone, Megan, she, her, hers. As far as Senate goes, I plan on putting me before we moving forward because I'm absolutely losing everything. So I would like to, as far as tasks, I would like to do my laundry and bathe and eat meals, among other things, right? you feel me? No, but in all seriousness, I mean, like, there's a bunch of things that I need to do, and I've talked about them, so. And then for fall break, I think I might waste away here with my field hockey team. In an ideal world, I would drive somewhere nice, like maybe Kelly's Island or something like that. Drive and then boat, obviously. Just something nice for myself to decompress, but I don't have any concrete fall break plans.
Treat yourself.
Yeah, treat yourself. So if anyone finds themselves like without plans and like around, I would love to like cook a meal with y'all or something like that to that tune. Chicken.
Nick, he, him, his. I'm going to coffee with Krislov. Dean Estes and I are going to chill. We're going to have dinner.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not invited.
Yeah, clearly.
No, I'm just kidding. No, it's not like a one-on-one. Don't worry.
Tomorrow dinner? The thing with the speakers?
Yes.
Yes, I'll be there.
Yes. So, yeah. Sorry, I realized I was kind of blowing up Dean Estes' spot. Anyway, what else am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm gonna hold office hours. I'm going to finish up the remainders of my midterms, and then fall break, I'm gonna go home and hug my dog and have good meals made by my mother and chill with my dad, who I haven't seen in a while, and also go to court, which sucks. Nothing serious, don't worry. It's like parking violations. It's just in Long Island. I have to drive from Jersey to Long Island. It's horrible. Yeah. No, not fun Long Island, like the middle of Long Island, nowhere near the beach. So yeah, and that's what I'm doing. Cool.
Corey, he, him, his, gonna do coffee with Krislov, office hours, student engagement working group on Thursday. Gonna try to not let midterms overwhelm me, and then I'm gonna drive home to Columbus and see my dog and see the older people in my family, which will involve homemade pasta, so that's good.
Homemade pasta, oh my goodness.
Gotta
that
do
Ben Tresca.
It is that Ben Tresca thing, yes.
I'm Olivia, she, her, and hers. This week I'm gonna put this on the internet.
Nice.
For fall break, I'm also gonna be visiting New Chicago, so maybe we'll see each other.
Sorrow. Sorry.
I'm Nolan, I use his, and I don't know about you all, but I'm glad to be headed back to Canada, so. No, I'm just joking, but not too much, because I'm gonna get my wisdom teeth taken out. Right? So, yeah. So, and just hanging out with my cats while tripping out, so that'll be fun. And just regards to tasks, what I'm gonna do is I'm setting up the email, the meeting with Tina Zweigart, so we can begin our duties as charter liaisons, and going to find out whether I can actually take on the task of green liaison by looking up the edge funds times and everything like that.
Cool. I'm Justin. I use he, him, his. This week I'm going to do student health working group. I'm going to try to get my committee stuff done. Do office hours. I'm going to put all the slips under the doors and DASCOM barrows and like a bunch of co-ops for the referendums. I want to get paid soon. I also am going to send out the trans allyship workshop when it's good again, so we can schedule something right when we get back from break. And I'm also going to research the Metro Park and wage issues, just so I can have like a stance on that.
Alright, so Zach, he, him, his. I'm going to this week have Oscar liaison office hours, regular office hours. I'm going to have the student health working group. We're gonna meet, I believe. Yes, yeah.
I mean, Sarah.
Yeah, that's up to Sarah, but yeah, probably.
I believe we are. I'm gonna start. I'm starting the committee application process for joining a committee. Just did that, so thank you. Student admission and financial aid, if you're curious, that's what I'm trying to go for. And I'm gonna try to work with Mock on the resolution for the Metro Parks levy. And then over break, I'm going to catch up with reading in my modernism seminar. And yeah, Howard's End, and I'm gonna chill in Venice, California, and that's kind of what it's looking like. So yeah, thanks guys.
Ben, he, him, his. Let's see what to do this week. I've got office hours, coffee with Krislov, student engagement working group. Hopefully schedule the transparency working group. I'll send out the when is good again because a lot of people didn't fill it out. And then we probably won't meet until after fall break. But anyway, and then let's see what else. Oh yeah, keep up with committee stuff. Hopefully. Well, I will be emailing people. We will be emailing people about getting their applications in because no one's getting their applications in. And hopefully we'll schedule some interviews for when we get back from fall break. So
oh boy,
look out for that. I said the same thing last week, but we'll see.
Hi, Anjali, she, her, and hers. This week I'm gonna do my office hours. I'm gonna do my student engagement working group. I'm gonna do coffee with Krislov, and also, am I smoking something, or do we have? Don't we have our general faculty thing?
We do have general faculty.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go to general faculty.
What is it? October 15th at noon.
15.
Yeah.
I thought that was just to me. Thank God.
Yep. I thought it was to send you a formal.
Yeah, I was like, am I a general faculty?
For the record, we have to be there.
That's required.
That's required.
I mean, you will get assigned points technically if you're not there. So like, you can make the cost benefit analysis.
Okay.
Points.
How long does it generally run?
I don't know.
Like an hour or like 3 hours?
Hour.
Okay. Because I have class at 1:30. That's my question.
Well, class 6 residents, like classes. It takes forever.
Cool.
I am here.
Alright, so I guess I'm not smoking anything, so yes, I do like that.
Well.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna go to Michigan, and I hope you guys aren't too insulted, but I'm not gonna miss you guys too terribly next Sunday, because I'm gonna be eating some fabulous Indian food made by my mama. I'm so excited.
Oh my God, please bring some.
Yeah, bring some back.
Or take me with you, whatever you want. Oh my God.
What time is it?
My mommy.
Where?
I call myself Albert, or they call me Albert.
Yes. So we can all go home.
And again, with the coffee, Krislov, and the general faculty, and my office hours at the observatory, per usual, I'm staying here in Oberlin over the fall break, so I will probably sit in my cell and work on the revisions to our bylaws. My cell is my room.
Yeah. Great.
Great, good seeing you.
We're so good at that.